welcome to the Spare Time Shop. Today I'm going to show you how I built this desk.
So because this is a custom desk, I started off by making plans. Something I don't often do, but in this case was very useful for selecting the right steel profiles and cutting them roughly to length. Now the trick with the design of these legs is that they're all cut at a 5-degree angle. This way I only have to set up the bandsaw once. I'm also cutting the legs all at once so they're exactly the same length. Next I'm cutting a flat bar in two, and the cross support pieces also at 5 degrees. It's hard to explain where all the pieces go, but it'll be clear once they're all welded together. I clamped the legs in a simple jig on the workbench, measuring the distance of the cross supports following the plan and tack welding everything in place. Afterwards I came back with full welds. So this is what the legs are supposed to look like, with all 3 legs at the slight angle. After some more welding, it's time to drill the holes to attach the legs to the tabletop. I took an angle grinder and rounded over all corners, also grinding down all visible welds. And of course I had to test them.
Alright, so we're back at the shed and now all I have to do is finish everything up. So I got this massive piece of solid oak cut at my local lumber dealer, and it weighs about 20 kilos, it's 40 millimeters thick, but I still have to sand it down and put some finish on it, so that's what I'll do now.
I'm sanding the tabletop down with 120 grit at first because it was kinda dirty. And one of the laminated blocks was set slightly below the surrounding pieces, so I had to sand the spot a little bit more to smooth it out.
So the tabletop is all sanded down. Next thing I would like to do is round over the edges just a little bit, and then the bottom side of the table I would like to chamfer as big as possible. And to do this I put a 45-degree bit in my router. So I will pass along all the edges of the table, taking away a little bit more material with each pass. Alright, so that turned out great. Now I'm going to flip the tabletop over and chamfer the edges on the underside.
And with many light passes I managed to create quite a big chamfer on the bottom edge. I already love how this looks.
So now I'm going over all the edges with a really fine grit, but I'm going to do this by hand because I don't want to mess anything up.
I'm using a colorless matte clear coating as finish for the wood. I even thinned the first coating with water so the wood can absorb the varnish even better. I don't want to stain the wood as I like the color of the natural oak. I want to be able to still feel the wood and not just the glossy top layer.
Putting on the varnish actually raised the grain again. So after each layer of varnish I will have to sand it back down and then apply another coat. I'm not really sure how many layers I'm going to add to this, so I'll just stop when it looks good. Alright, time for the second coating. I really hope this will be the last time I have to sand this thing. So let's see.
I ended up applying 3 coats on the top and the bottom side, with light sanding in between the layers. Now onto finishing the steel legs. Before paint, it's always a good idea to clean the steel. Just get rid of all the grease and dust.
Alright, so next up is paint. Quick reminder, if you have to spray paint something, please do it outside. I did not really have another choice because it's freezing and raining now. Alright, so the tabletop and the legs are all finished. So now it's time to move everything in place, put the tabletop onto the legs, and then we're done.
Several days later.
So assembly is pretty straightforward. It's just a matter of putting the legs in place, checking if they're square, making the holes and pre-drilling them as well. Followed by screwing the legs onto the tabletop. And the same goes for the other set of legs. Oh yeah, remember all the legs are at a 5-degree angle? Well, to set them flush on the floor, I modeled and 3D printed some custom feet following that same angle. These can just be press fitted into the steel legs. I also added some felt padding on the bottom of these feet to not damage the floor. And that's basically it.
Yeah, so the whole table is assembled, and I have to say I'm really happy with the results, because I was a little bit concerned about leveling the whole thing out, because as you can see I have 6 legs, and you might know everything more than 3, it gets a little bit tricky. So yeah, the whole thing is quite sturdy, and I love the finish, really do. It's quite honestly the first real piece of furniture I've ever built. With that being said, I'd like to thank you for watching. Please consider subscribing if you want to, and I'll see you in the next video where I build something else.